Shut up!
He's been quiet with this one.
Right. Yes. This football is sponsored by.
Just restart it.
No, I've got it right. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app lets you keep up to date with all the stats, news, and scores all in one place. So the link is in the description down below. So do check it, download it. Let us know what you think about it. We use it. Scott uses it for his preview.
I use it for previews. It's a quality app.
He's loving it. So check it out.
Go and get the pints now.
What do you mean? When you say something.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Party. Only West Ham United Post-Match show on the internet. We've just come back from another stadium where we unfortunately lost to Watford 2-0. Graham.
Hello.
Starting line-up, please.
Scott's job.
Scott.
Yeah, Fabianski goals, Zabaleta right back, Masuaku left back, Balbuena and Diop centre halves, centre mids, Rice, Noble, Anderson one side, Snodgrass the other, and Antonio Hernandez up top.
It's one of the most difficult games I think I'm going to have to ever do a post-match part, because I honestly, right, apart from the parts where we played really poorly, I thought we should have at least got a point out of this game.
Yeah,
I think Watford wanted it more.
Massively.
I think they played better.
Yeah.
But I think on the balance of the chances and how that ball hasn't gone into that, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was, but for me, we didn't learn our lessons from Fulham.
We got away with it against Fulham.
Yeah, massively. Look, if you had put players like Deeney and Delafeu in the positions that Kamara and Mitrovic got in against us for Fulham.
Why is Deeney such a cunt?
Oh, massively, but you know,
why is he such a cunt?
It is.
But maybe if he played for us, we would have seen about it.
Do you know what? I've seen him score against West Ham about 2 or 3 times now, right? And every time, and I've never seen West Ham fans boo him before all this shit. I've never seen anyone getting on his back. He just seems to want to be the pantomime villain. I don't understand it.
Likes being the centre of attention.
He's a fucking sloth looking.
All I want to know, mate, is where were the stewards protecting that corner flag? 3 stewards on that corner flag.
Why didn't he get a booking?
Yeah, that's what
the ref was thinking about it.
Thinking about it. He went up into the crowd. He started antagonising the corner of the crowd and kicked the corner flag out. What more do you need to do?
Well, that ref
pulled out his gun that he got arrested for.
I'll be honest. Overall, for the 90 minutes, that ref was piss poor. Piss poor. I'm not blaming him for losing. No. He was poor for the whole game. Yeah. You know, the Balbuena foul for the penalty, granted yellow card, but then was it Snodgrass got took out?
Yeah.
Edge of the area, last man. It's a red card because it's outside. If it's a penalty, the new rules state it's a yellow card because it stops the double punishment.
If they're making a legitimate attempt for the ball, then
he's last man. It's a red card.
No, but they changed the rule, didn't they?
I don't think they did. I think it's the rule is double punishment.
I think if it
wasn't a penalty.
Now, didn't they say if it was like, obviously if it was a cynical, like just chopped him
down? It was cynical though.
He shot him down. You can't be more cynical.
No.
He was through and go and he took him out.
You always got to be devil's advocate, right? Yeah.
No, but they changed the rule. It was.
But they changed the rule. No, it's not. It's if it's a penalty. If it's a penalty because it's
double punishment.
Yeah, they don't send off the player. But outside the box, last man's red card. Granted, he may not have been last man, but from the angle I was,
he might not have been outside the fucking box.
It's right on the edge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was that handball shout we had earlier on? Because I didn't see that properly. Before their penalty, we had a penalty shout.
There was no one got taken out the edge of the box.
Hang on, right. What took place? Handball.
Well, yeah, that was at the start of the game. He's going right near the end of the game.
This was first half.
No, one wasn't until the second half.
No, first half. Edge of the box.
Balbuena went off injured. No, it wasn't the first half. Balbuena came on. But my thing was.
No, but he got taken out. Before he flicked the ball on, went to run into the area, and he got taken out.
That was after.
But it was on the very edge of the box.
I don't know why we're getting into the discussion about if it was in the first half, but it was. It's a tough pill to swallow.
I'll be honest, man.
I'll be honest. I think Watford wanted it more.
Yeah, massively.
I think they played really. I've got to give props to Watford because the way they moved the ball about, the way they was finding them little pockets of space. Delafeu, I thought we dealt with him quite well, but he was getting right involved. I think the midfield run the game. Deeney was a nuisance. They've got good full-backs.
The thing is as well, they pressed us high. They stopped us trying to play from the back. And their midfield completely dominated.
That's our weakness. Anytime we come against a pressing
midfield
team,
was non-existent.
Yeah,
non-existent today.
Brighton done it to us as well. Brighton pressed us.
But this is the thing, right? And I picked up on it a couple of times in the previews that when we play against the physical forwards, we struggle. Do you know what I mean? Glenn Murray, we struggle. When we played Wimbledon,
I think we struggled. I think we struggled with Dean until Bonner come on.
Yeah, Bonner looked good. To be fair, I thought Bonner played well when he came on.
Yeah.
You know, the penalty was a blatant penalty.
Oh, yeah.
You can't complain about it. Balbuena's just in no man's land, and he's tried to style it out by falling over himself. But
I think when I first saw it, I wanted to say, he got the ball, and then you watch it, and you go, nah.
It was a great penalty, though, to be honest.
There's no saving it. It's a very good penalty, very good. But you going into the game, if you think like you fancy Fabianski to save a penalty, you know he saved one before. He's in great form, but
there was no saving
that was a good penalty.
That was as far into the corner as you can get it.
But I just think from the outset, Watford, they had their game plan, they stuck to it. We didn't learn from our lessons against Fulham. I know we got a clean sheet against Fulham, but how we got a clean sheet, I don't know. You know, we just
made the same mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Our midfield today, as I said, was non-existent. Noble. That's the worst game I think he's played. I thought he was poor against Fulham. I think
there was a few that had. Do you know what? I'm going to tick it off as a bad day at the office because, as I said, even though we was poor in parts, we was decent. Second half, we just pressed and pressed and pressed. I don't know how the ball has not gone in the net. Foster had an absolutely magnificent
and
game.
The post.
Yeah.
We hit the post
twice.
We hit the bar. Even in the first half, the Hernandez challenge, the ball crossed into the box and he sort of half volleyed or volleyed it, and that was a good save from Foster.
I mean, the one in the second half. That he was behind him, he was going the wrong way.
The chance that killed it for me, and I thought if this chance would have gone in, we would have gone on to win the game. Is the one where he turned the defender, and he tried to go in the inside, and he had Foster was on more or less on the near post, and he had the whole of the other goal. Now, on the basis of play, that one in the first half where Antonio nodded it back to him, the one where he miskicked it. You know, the one where he just wasn't expecting it to get through and he just swung at it. And that chance what he had there, that's a hat-trick for Chicharito. He don't miss them chances.
There's a couple of times we got into the box as well and the final ball was a little bit
It just felt like a day where nothing was going to... Yeah, it wasn't out.
I'll be honest, we could have carried on playing for another hour and I still don't feel...
No, I didn't feel like we was ever going to score. Our decision making...
I think if you was watching it as a neutral, that was a good game.
It was
for me, it was frustrating. It was just so frustrating.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
Because we gave the ball away.
I don't know how it hadn't gone in the back of the net. So many times it was bouncing around, and every time it was bouncing around, you were just expecting it to fall to one of ours, and it was just falling to their defenders' feet. We was having straight. Even Masuaku had a shot.
Yeah, straight.
I thought he had a decent game, Masuaku, going forward. I thought he was the only one who sort of going forward.
To be fair, the thing for us, he weren't having a bad game until the second goal.
Yeah,
because he could have threw himself in front of the ball and didn't.
That was a good finish.
No, it was good. It was a good finish. But what I'm saying is, Masuaku could put his body on the line and throw himself in, as Ginger Collins used to do, but he doesn't.
It happens to us quite a lot. We have a really good chance, then they go straight up the other end and
we dominated that second half, and their second goal was way against.
But I think they were happy.
But I could see it happening. That's the thing. I said to Ryan, if we don't get the goal within the next 10 minutes. I said if this, with the Carroll chance as well when he nodded it down into the ground, the Chicharito chance, the Antonio when he hit the bar.
To be fair, you got to give Foster some credit for that save from Carroll.
Even Fabianski's got to get some credit because he made a couple of
both. Let's be honest, both keepers were involved in keeping the score there.
Yeah,
Fabianski was again on. He's unlucky to be on the losing side.
Yeah.
He pulled off some blinders, but. I just don't know. I think we've come up against. Let's be honest, Watford are the best side we've played in the last 5 games, and we've lost. That's the worry for me.
Worrying.
But they're just turning into a real bogey side for us. We
just
can't see.
But this for me is where we see what Pochettino Pellegrini is made of. This is where we see what Pellegrini. Sorry, I was watching Man United. I'm looking at their next manager next. This is where I think where we find out what Pellegrini's made of, because he's had them 4 wins. The whole place has been buzzing. You get the loss at home, and I don't think it was it's a weird one because it's a deserved loss. Because on the balance of play, they needed to win, but we had chances to.
We had something to get something out of it.
We could have won the game.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we've been beaten, and at the end of the day, Foster, as I said, 3 or 4 good saves, stops the scoring.
Post bar,
exactly. On another day, we win that game 3-2.
4-2 maybe.
Yeah.
I just thought our decision making was awful because there's times where we've crossed it into bloody Antonio, we should have squared it to Hernandez, or they've shot when they should have passed.
But they're so like you don't get that many in a row normally. Do you understand what I mean? Like you don't get that normally get that amount of mistakes. Like there was times when he should have played the ball in front of him and he was cutting it behind him, and then vice versa. Should have cut it in the back, and then he was trying to play it across.
Our corners and crosses were terrible today.
Unfortunate.
I think
they've always been like that.
I mean, their players are big lumps, and we just keep crossing it, and they kept winning every header. We hardly beat them.
And for me, I think one thing we've got to give Watford credit for is that they stopped us playing with Anderson. Anderson was non-existent for about 80 minutes of that game overall.
They've done their own work.
Yeah, when he did get on the ball, he looked dangerous.
They're a well-drilled side. They know what they're doing.
But that's the thing. There was times when Anderson, like we go back to like the indecisions and playing the wrong passes. There's times when Anderson's standing out on the wing, completely unmarked, and we play the ball the other side. Does have a level? Get the ball to Anderson. Anderson is our form player. Anderson's a danger. Snodgrass is playing absolutely brilliant. Anderson is that player that's going to turn the game on his head in a second. And we just didn't give him the ball enough, I think. And again, that Anderson Masuaku.
Do you know
on
what
that
we seem to
side,
do as well?
I don't get why Criswell's
we
not
don't seem to find the space. We play very basic football, straight lines, tight side, forward. Whereas Watford, they're more three-dimensional because they're going diagonal.
Some of their through balls today.
Yeah, but they find people as well. But you see, like people like Antonio today. Antonio made a run where if it had been played through, he was through and goal, and Hernandez tried to go straight across. Yeah. Like you don't always need to do that. Like sometimes the good ball, even if the defender. If he's stretching, he's got to stretch and he's out of position and someone else runs in.
Yeah.
That's where we lack a little bit.
There was a couple of times where we had that. There was a couple of times where we had that.
It always has to be like a conventional way of play. You know what I mean?
But there was also times when we could have caught teams on the counter. Like caught Watford on the counter attack, and we play the ball slowly. We don't like.
I think there was one in the first half. Fabian's got the ball, rolled it, like quick throw at, 2 passes back the pitch, nearly scored.
Yeah.
So we can do it.
Well, yeah, done it against a few teams. That's how
but I think today showed where. With their midfield, you look at their goals and their build up to the goals. They've got midfielders bombing forward through the centre. We've got no one.
Joe used to do that for us.
No.
The only problem.
He did.
2014, mate.
But
2014.
But we've like.
But what you did, he did.
Rice and no tries to play further forward to link up the play, right? But they're very similar in the way they play. They both want to sit deep and pick the ball up deep.
Be honest with you, I thought when Snoddy went back into the centre,
we look better.
I thought we looked better because he was getting beyond.
Yeah.
He started to get beyond and into that little gap. And when Nobes went off, but he just ain't got the legs, has he? He just ain't got the legs to do what they was doing. Like Deulofeu, he runs games.
We just don't have an attacking centre midfielder, if you know what I mean. That's sort of a centre midfielder who's got the ability to make them runs from deep. The amount of time we get the ball wide, if you had Hernandez and Antonio basically on the 6-yard box, and no one coming in to the centre. Look at Watford. Watford had players on the edge of the 6-yard box, but then they had a centre midfielder busting the gut to get into the for the cutback.
There was a couple of times they got one. You think, they're going to whip it in the middle.
Yeah, he just cuts it back.
This is where Pellegrini learns his trade. This is where he earns his money.
Yeah.
Because when we go to Southampton next week, hopefully, although we have made them mistakes against Fulham and Crystal Palace to an extent, not as bad, but like some mistakes there, that led to the goal. Now it's right. We've lost the game through that. Maybe he didn't address it before, or maybe the players didn't take it too seriously because we'd won the games. We go right. These are the mistakes. This is what we've done wrong. Let's work on this for training over Christmas until we get to the Southampton game.
We're on a bit of a roll at the minute.
Well, that's it. They won 2 on the bounce. It's going to be Southampton's going to be a tough game.
They've been cut out for a while. Like the set pieces, our ability to defend set pieces is really.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's hard because we won 4 on the bounce. So it's really, as I said, even we look at the mistakes we made.
The manager could say it, but their probably mentality is we've won.
Yeah. I'll be honest, right? I thought today was the first time we actually missed Arnautovic.
Yeah.
I just think his movement, he just gives us something a bit more.
Yeah. Andy Carroll needs 45 minutes to just start running. It's like a fucking jet, fucking train, isn't he? Like, right, pass it to me in 10 minutes. I'm getting down.
The problem with Carroll is Carroll wants the ball, so he drops deep to link up the play.
But we don't need him to.
He's not got the pace to then get forward to.
Get low, but then
he tried to go for another overhead, didn't he? Which completely skied it, and that's what
But that's the problem. We've got to think with Carroll. He's a player coming back again from a long-term injury. It normally takes him 4 or 5 games to get up to speed with everyone else.
Yeah. You can't really blame him. He's coming back.
The thing is now we've got a couple of games come out in a short space of time. He's going to have to start Carroll in one of them. We can't keep relying on Antonio and this.
So he might start the next one. I think.
The thing is, we've got 2 very winnable games.
Look, every game we've had in December has been winnable. Watford, as I said, Watford are probably the best side we've played in the recent games.
The thing is, they're sitting at time of Man United game ain't finished yet, but they're going to go 6th. Yeah. But as we're speaking now, they're 6th. Watford, they're 6th. They're 6th for a reason because they're a good team. They're a good drilled team.
Everyone knows their job.
Yeah.
For a team that keep changing bloody managers as well, they always seem to end up there or thereabouts near that.
The thing is, don't get me wrong. I still think as I said, we've done enough to get at least a point out. And I'm not gonna. We can't be overcritical because we did win 4 in the bounce.
We created enough chances.
Yeah, exactly. And again,
the thing, I'd be more worried if we weren't creating chances.
Yes. But and their second goal was
I was the opposite to him. I felt every time we went forward, we would score.
Yeah, but then by the same token, every time they come forward,
it's just what we did with it when we got near the goal. That was the thing. Every single time you're like,
But it was because we was carving out them chances. I was thinking to myself after the third, fourth, we can't keep on making these same mistakes. It can't keep on going their way. The rubber, the green can't keep on going their way. One of these is going to go in. And then when I changed my opinion. When Antonio hit the bar, and that open goal, I thought,
I said to Jace, it's not our day.
Not our day today.
You saying that though, as much as I'm disappointed we lost, I really enjoyed watching the game.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable game. Listen, Diop, some of the tackles he put in today
I thought he looked shaky at the start, though.
He did at the start, but as the game went on, he got some of the challenges he put in. Ogbonna, I thought when he come on was so. Balbuena had a poor game. Ogbonna when he come on looked so. He just looked composed at the back.
But I tell you another thing with Masuaku. What I noticed, Masuaku, he was a lot of the. I think he was a lot of the positive. What was going forward, and he was holding the ball quite well. But then, like Anderson wasn't getting up there to support him for him to pass it to. So he's having to go around three, 4 players just to cross it in. When really,
again,
they seem to be isolated.
I think it's where Masuaku got forward. It sort of like put a bit of pressure on Anderson not to go forward because he, again, where we said before. We know, when Masuaku stay further back, Anderson over the past 4 games has been outstanding. Today, as I said, I don't think we've got him the ball, and I think with Masuaku going forward, it didn't give that Anderson that freedom.
It's just when he's having like 2, 3 players around him, you need someone to pass it to. Do you know what I mean? And there was no one there, and he's having to.
But this is the thing with our midfield, right? When Diagana started playing, you saw Diagana had 3 players around him.
When he come on,
right? Yeah, right. 3 players around him, defending against him. If there's 3 players around him, there's space elsewhere. And we're not finding it, or the players not getting into it. And I think that's the same with Anderson today. When Anderson did get on the ball, especially in the first half, there was players shutting him down. Because of the way our 2 midfielders set up, we've not got that midfielder who's bursting into the box. Or making a movement.
The space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you You can't have 3 players around 1 player, and then there's no
That's
space.
on the wings. If they're out on the wings, right, all you got to do is bring it inside.
Yeah.
There's going to be space.
But
inside.
then even then, we get down the wing, we get an opportunity to play the ball in the box. We don't. We come back and we go back. We go to the centre half.
By which time they've set, they're reset.
I understand keeping possession and trying, but the movement's got to be there. If you're keeping possession and playing backwards, the movement's got to be there in the middle.
With the football, I think we overthink it.
Yeah.
I think there's times when, you know what I mean, we all like to see good football, but there's times when there is one ball on, when you can split the defence with one pass, and we're trying to make a goal 45 passes. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want to go to the wing, then come back inside, and all that. Where you could just go right from Rice, say, Antonio's making the run, a ball through would split the defence in half, and they're trying to go fucking back side to side.
You mean exactly how Watford did?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they would
Ball between the centre half and the full-back, getting them turned.
I think another big problem I noticed as well, when you say Watford would have the ball would come to us in the air, rather than just let it drop to your feet where there's no players around you, they'd edit it back and it goes straight to Watford.
Today is the first time, I think, since a school game that I see the ball bounce so many times in the box. Listen, the defender not to get their head off.
I like to see a stat of how many second balls we actually won, because for me, Watford won all of them.
Anyway.
Look,
we can't ruin my fucking Christmas. That's
and
for sure.
at the end of the day, look, we went 4 on the bounce. It's always hard to win 5 on the spin unless you've got.
I don't know if we're still in the top half. Are we still in the top half?
12. I'll take that. Listen, look, at the end of the day, it's a decent side. I thought overall the game should have been a draw, but they took their chances. We didn't. Exactly the same as Fulham, we took our chances. They didn't.
We're not in the relegation battle
Exactly.
in Christmas. We're nowhere near that relegation.
Exactly.
We've quite a few points off of it. That's a positive.
And
January, we might.
And our Christmas decorations are still up. So
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match point, the last one before Christmas. So we'd like to take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Before we come back.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, what we got? This is the first time. Where is it?
I'll give it to you. You put it in your pocket. It's in your pocket.
We got.
Someone drew us a picture.
We got. Someone come up to us today.
A young girl, a young West Ham fan.
Well, you explain it because they give it to you.
Yeah, young girl.
And Dan didn't get a name for us to thank her. So
yeah, we didn't get the name, but look, lovely there. All the shows on there. West Ham Fan TV. So
Every show except Dan's show.
and Scott's. No preview on that. But yeah, look, we got. When's the last time you seen a midweek musings?
Last week.
Nah, listen, no, thank you very much for that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you know who it is, comment it in below if you're that person. Thank you very much, and thank you very much to
When we
Jace.
get our new permanent home, we'll put these up in the back.
frame that.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to draw us any more stuff and hand it to us,
Oh, this ain't fucking Tony Hart. This is fucking Postman Pint, mate.
Angry. But yeah, cheers, Jace, for filming as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jason.
Jace,
Buy you a
beer
nice-
your name.
Yeah, cheers, Jace. Thank
You've
you.
been holding it there like that.
Thanks to the Cart and Horses
Thank
for
you for
hosting
the
us
Cart and
again.
Horses.
Yes, Cart and Horses once again for letting us use the beer garden.
And wish you a Merry Christmas.
Very,
And one thing left to say.
Come
Come
on,
on,
you guys.